Good morning, friend. Let's go ahead and work through some fractions and how fractions and decimals, they're actually related. So when you think about fractions, you think about pizzas and 7/8 and 1/2, all those things. Well, decimals are actually the same kind of idea. So a fraction can be written as a decimal, and a decimal can be written as a fraction. So when we're comparing a fraction to a decimal, what we need to do is we need to change them in order for them to be the exact same. That way your brain can compare. You need to be able to compare two things that are the same versus completely opposite things. And remember, these aren't opposite. They're just written different ways. So I have 1/6. 1/6 is actually using your calculator, and it's 1 divided by 6. So that's what it's telling you to do. So you grab a calculator and do 1 divided by 6. You'll find out that the answer is 0.167. So these two values actually are equal. So 1/6 equals 0.167. Good to know. This is what the value is. Now I want to compare that to 0.83. 0.83 means 83 hundredths. So we can write this as 83 over 100. Now we can simplify that into 8.3 over 10. Okay, so it's like 8/10, just a smidge over 8/10. So we're comparing now. You can choose. Do you want to look at the fractions? Do you want to look at the decimals? If we look at our fractions, I have 8/10 versus 1/6. That's kind of hard to tell which one is greater, isn't it? You'd have to think about a pizza, a 1/6 of a pizza, or 8/10 of a pizza. Or 0.83 and 0.167. So if you think of it that way, think of it as money. Would you rather have almost 16 cents, or would you rather have 83 cents? Think of it as a crocodile way. He's really hungry. Does he want to eat 16 cents or 83 cents? The crocodile would be this way. So we read it as 1/6 is less than 0.83 or 83 hundredths. Let's try another one. I have 7/8 compared to 0.75. So 7/8, grab your calculator and do 7 divided by 8. See how we're reading that? 7 divided by 8. Now, I know that we don't want to start using a calculator and use it all the time. However, you have to know how to solve the problem in order to solve the problem. So if you are doing this over and over again, you're going to start picking up that, 0.25 is actually a quarter, and that's 1 divided by 4. And these things, once you discover the answer, you're going to memorize them. So it becomes mental math over time. But you still have to learn the answer first. So it's okay to use your calculator when you're doing this piece. So grab your calculator and do 7 divided by 8. And we're going to come up with this value, 0.875. So we have 7/8 or 0.875, and we're comparing that to 0.75. So 0.75 can be written as 75 hundredths. Now if you think of it like money, 75 hundredths, 75 cents out of $1, that's 3/4. And 3/4 means you have 3 out of 4 equals 3/4. So again, we're using math or our calculator in order to get the answer, and then you'll memorize it. So you're going to learn in your head automatically 3/4 is just like quarters in money equals 0.75. So like 75 cents equals 3/4. 0.5 equals 2/4, which is also 1/2. All of the same value written in different ways. So now we're comparing. Let's look at the decimal, because I feel like the decimal is always easier. If you can get the fraction into a decimal form, it's very simple to tell. So pretend it's money. Ready? You have 87, almost 88 cents, or 75 cents. Greater than, less than, or equal to. Hungry crocodile would go this way. My kids, we go like this to make it more fun. Obviously, that's not the real symbol, but how fun is that? Chomp, chomp, chomp. Okay, let's try another one. I have 2/3 compared to 0.66. So grab your calculator. 2 divided by 3 equals 0.66. And then this is called Rapitan bar. This line on top, it actually means that that number repeats. So it's 0.666666666666666666666666666666666666. So this bar means that it's going to repeat. So now we have 0.66 and we're comparing. Hey, now look at that. We don't even have to do any comparing because we have the same value. Now we can also put this in fraction form. Remember, you just have to put it over the end number that it's in. So let's say it's 0.6. That is 6/10. So 6 line 10. 0.66, now we're in the hundredths. So we have 66 over 100. If there was a 7 here, it would be 667 out of 1,000. So since I'm not in the tenths place, it's not over 10, I'm in the hundredths place. So now I have 66 over 100. Ta-da! We can also simplify that again to be 6.6 over 10. We're just moving our values over. So we have 0.66 and 0.66 greater than, less than, or equal to. Equal to, So recap really quick. Same value, different ways of writing it. So if you have a fraction, you can put it in a decimal. If you have a decimal, you can put it in a fraction. Figure out which one is easier for you to recognize. For me, it's decimals. And remember, this is money. Think of it like money. Which one is greater? Which one is more? Which one would I rather have in my bank account? So you're changing the format to be the same for both. Then you're comparing. So let me know if this helps at all. See ya.